is and the real threat it poses. I'm just
It's
gonna get out and say
dangerous.
it. And I'm gonna hit it on two fronts. I'm gonna come at it from gaming, I'm gonna come at it from movie. As much as
Oh,
no one
all
will
right.
take this serious. But have you all not seen Terminator? Have you all not seen John Connor and the warnings? For fuck's sake, there were two computers that made their own language so that humans couldn't understand what they were doing and saying to each other before they had to pull the plug and end the project. All right, let me reel it back in. The dangers of AI. It's one of the reasons why Microsoft has laid off so many people to build up their AI infrastructure. It's one of the reasons why the tech sector is somewhat, in a sense, scaling down. There are a lot of layoffs. There are a lot of people fearing their jobs. I can't remember the company name, but there was one company that, quote unquote, they had hired a massive amount of staff to help them build up AI in a sense. And once they got the ball rolling and the AI was learning at such an extreme rate, they fired everybody. It was like, we don't need all you anymore. We just need this one dude just to make sure this keeps going. And the AI is posed to take and replace so many and computer-oriented jobs. You have studios that are constantly talking about, oh, we use AI upscaling and using AI to generate the art for their games. There was the infamous, I think it was a Santa Claus in a Call of Duty advertisement. He had 6 fingers. And they're like, oh, that's AI art. The dangers of trying to use AI to create art. AI does not know the difference in copyright infringement, of plagiarism. All it knows is that what you ask it to do, it will do it based on the parameters and constraints given. And it will lead to a huge lack of creativity and laziness. You hired artists and game designers, musicians, and everyone because they are skilled in their craft. And for them to be fired just so that you don't have to pay them, a program will still use their likeness or similarities of their work to help make you money. It's crazy. And it's more scarier than pricing of gaming and where that's going. You have people talking about they want to scale AI so much that it will assist to the point in making full-scale games on its own. But let me hear your thoughts, Trice. Where are you standing on AI as a whole and its implementation, not just in the private sector, but also the public?
I find that AI is a dangerous tool for everything outside of doing my homework for college. For anything that's outside of me asking, some help for my homework is very dangerous. But as far as in the world, yeah, I think the federal government is going to have to put some type of stipulation or limitation, federal law put in place to protect individuals' jobs. Yeah, because the companies are just listen, they're finding a way to do the bare minimum for the most amount of money. So that I believe the federal government is going to, even with all the backdoor business that goes on, laws and things like that, they're going to have to get involved because you cannot continue to allow this to happen for years to come. The unemployment rate is just going to get too high. I'm not here to talk about economics and all that around the world or in the United States, but just the same points that you made, creativity, you just can't, just like, that scene in Iron Man 1 where Terrence Howard is going through with the pilots and he's saying that AI cannot replace a human being's feelings, intuition, gauge.
Absolutely.
It's so many human things that cannot be, engineered into AI. So that's gonna leave a big hole in gaming and gaming design. And so and it's just certain things that humans don't really can quantify why they made a decision to do something for games. They just had a feeling. And AI is not going to have a feeling. You're going to write a code and it's just going to execute. And yeah, it's machine learning and coding. Like, I'm in school for IT now. I know all the things that go into coding AI systems and how they can learn, and they can develop their own language. They do have some type of self-recognition of like, hey, let's create a different language so the fucking human can't hear. Like, they do have some type of, they can grow into self-awareness type of organism, if you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, as far as making games, no, I'm always gonna go with the humans feel and I guess intuition on what should go in the game, what aspect, what could be more powerful, more engaging for the player. I'm always going to go with the human over AI. And it's like I said, it's really dangerous in the gaming community just because these companies are so freaking slimy, bruh. Like, they want to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money. And so AI is really up their alley. Like, this is really just business as usual. This is nothing outside the norm that you've seen in the last 10 years. Like, gaming companies have gotten more and more lazy. And that's what I'm saying too. This goes back to casuals and hardcore gamers. We got to have a certain minimum standard. And without that minimum standard, you're going to get more AI. I'm expecting be a lot more cookie cutter games. Could be even more unstable because you don't have all the individuals there to really test and stress test. It's just going to go through a certain simulation and be like, all right, it's good. And even like Chat GPT, you can go in there and ask it whatever, but it still has at the bottom of the thing a warning. Chat GPT can make mistakes. Check information, important information for accuracy. That's on the bottom of ChatGPT. So just imagine that on the scale of making a game, a full game. You're gonna have people with two heads. You thought that line from Mass Effect Andromeda was crazy. My face is tired. That could be a every dialogue conversation in a game. Like, that's just the reality. And I'm not saying AI cannot get any better. If anything, it's going to continue to grow. They throwing up all these data centers across the country for AI. And all these companies, Apple, Microsoft, all these companies is pouring billions in infrastructure for AI. So it's not going anywhere. And that's why I say I feel like the federal government has to gonna have to step in to protect human interests as far as jobs and things like that. But as far as making a game, like, I can just imagine the copy and paste shit. Like, could you imagine AI making the next Madden game? How fucking more tragic
How
that
lazy?
Madden,
How lazy it'll be?
even more tragic than what it's already is. That is my outlook on how AI can really damage. Not money wise, because companies will still probably make money. It's just the integrity of the quality of the product. And then you gotta always, is this an ethnical thing to do? Should I replace 200 working employees that, are really good at their job, they've made good products, and replace them with a machine learning program? Is that ethnical? And that's why I feel like the companies are not going to question. The federal government is going to have to step in line and tell them this is the guideline. Like, no, only certain amount of stuff can get outsourced to AI. That's the only way that I can see that people and people's jobs will be protected, because the companies themselves are not gonna, they're not gonna self-regulate this. Bare minimum, baby, for the most amount of money. So I'm really, and like you said, it's a lot of copyright and plagiarism concerns with using AI in game development. I just don't know. I just feel like if an AI made a game, it will be very lacking in an emotional storytelling aspect, which, like I said, humans can understand what could be that could pull on your heartstrings more, or give you this type of feeling like, I gotta go save this person or this NPC. Just like, you remember in Last of Us at the start of the game where he was crying and all that. Like, I don't think AI could regenerate that in a game, in a new IP. I have no faith in that. No.
Absolutely not.
And
Absolutely.
a lot of things that goes into gaming is building relationships with the characters you play around, and how they affect your NPC and their personalities, and whether they're shallow or fucking very, like, helpful to you. It's certain aspects that is going to suffer if this actually comes to fruition, where AI is making the entire game. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. But yeah, it's scary. It's just looking scary outside for gaming.
I do agree with you 100%, but I wouldn't even say just gaming. All aspects of entertainment / art.
Yeah, because
I
even
feel is in
movies
danger.
using AI now.
Because like you said, you take away the human component in art, you take away the passion, you take away the drive that made that person make what they made for the specific reason they made it for. You use The Last of Us as an example. I don't know about you, but beginning of the game where his daughter got shot. I'm sorry, spoilers, even though it's an old ass game. But his daughter got shot from that guy. I think he was a soldier and everything like that. And he was crying and she was bleeding. That was a real intense moment. I wasn't a parent. At that time, I was like, damn, man, that hurt. Or another good example, Gears of War 3, the scene where Dom killed himself to save his buddies. An AI cannot think of that, cannot have that passion to give that emotional response for someone doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? Even so much as AI working on video games, hell, AI making anything. I think I can't remember the article, but they were testing a new AI program and wanted it to make some picture or something. And when they reran and looked through it and realized it stole or plagiarized, however you want to break it down, pieces of art from various other artists and things from the web, and it to their realization, it doesn't know to distinguish. It just knows, hey, you tell me you want this and XYZ made, that's what I'm making. The problematic in that is you take away the human element, you take away the creativity, you take away the passion, the thoughtfulness, the drive, everything in everything. Gaming is art. No matter how anyone wants to look at it, talk about it, whatever, gaming is art. Movies are art. And this reliance on AI because, we'll make things easier. Everything's not about something being made easy. Video games, in even today's landscape, from the programming to the voice recording, the motion capture, the story writing, every little bit of it's complicated. Your average artist may take months to years for a new album or painting because of the creativity in it. And that's what AI will be lacking. I'll go ahead and admit, the thought of AI and superiority, and it makes, the human race propel 1,000 years to the future and flying cars and exo robot suits, and we could travel to stars. Yes, that sounds awesome. That sounds cool. But that is the lighter side of the equation, because the problematic that I'm going to get to it, the Terminator movies were of man abusing technology, which we as humans do a lot. And I can't remember what AI incident that happened that the creator of Terminator made a tweet like, you all are playing with fire. Have none of you all seen the movies that we've made based off of this? Because it only takes 1 second for AI to self-realize like, hey, I don't need these people, us humans. They need me. And how that backlash will quickly turn. The gaming industry has a problem right now with so many cuts and layoffs and cutbacks, but yet we're making record profits. And then in the same breath, you want to use AI to help make this smooth things out? On the PC gaming landscape, I believe there's a AI frame generation to try to help stabilize certain games. If I remember correctly, Borderlands 4 implements such technology, and it's like, yo, why don't what happened to you just making the good game? Putting some effort into it rather than relying on some program to do it.
Regardless, it's just dangerous. And I can see the writing on the wall. I see these companies doing this and not caring about the effect that it will have. Having such large number, even right now, IT have laid off such a large amount of employment force that it's just unbelievable. Cause I remember when my aunt went to school and she got her IT degree. IT was considered a safe job, and there's different levels to IT, of course. You can go into game designs, web development. I'm not here to list all that, but I'm just saying it used to be looked as a safe and guaranteed job that you will always have. And now people are getting these letters saying, hey, you can pack your stuff and go home. We don't need you because we bought this coding system that has this AI in it that will replace about 60% of what you do. Fuck you. Goodbye. It's a dangerous thing. And like I said, I feel like the federal government is going to have to get involved just because it's so many people unemployed from the IT department and across the board that is just crazy. But yeah, that's all I got. Pray for better times. And I also want to point out before I end this, let's not act like we didn't see the Avengers Ultron movie, okay? All right, you might be too young to have seen the Terminator movie, but that Avengers Ultron movie, Ultron
Oh,
was like, you're the problem, you humans, and the planet needs a reset. Hey, I can listen. I'm sure because AI is coded to think more logically over emotion, and so
absolutely.
AI might really look at it like, I've already said this in the past episode. We are the disease to this planet, humans. So I'm sure it's not going to take much for the AI to come to that same conclusion. I mean, especially when all they're doing is looking at stuff over the internet. Okay, so let's just listen. We as consumers have limited control of what these companies do, but I just think we need to be 10 toes down and unified that AI has to have a lot of boundaries and a lot of things in place. And it's a lot of ethical things that companies need to be required to do. And that's all I got.
I agree 100%. 100%. But moving on, share
Uh,
your thoughts with us. Comment below. Let us know how you think and feel of AI. Anyone in the tech industry, sector, etc. I'm sure whoever this video comes across and see, let us know how you have been impacted and or feel with the heavy implementations and or reliance of AI.
yeah, and
Speaking of Avenger,
I wait, but I just want
go
to
ahead.
make a quick note that if you're in the AI sector and you are the one that's actually coding the AI and repairing and editing the AI, your job's fine. You probably don't give a damn about none of this shit we're talking about. But if you're the other guy who's being replaced by the AI, then I'm sure you have a problem. But definitely hit the comment section and let us know what side of the aisle you're on and how do you feel. And even if you're not in the working sector of IT and stuff, just for gaming, just let us know because this really could be your future in a minute because it's real nasty outside.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?